Hello everyone, this is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and today is Monday, February the 19th, 2024, and this is my Flosstube episode number 113. I would like to say hello and welcome to any new subscribers. I hope that you will stick around, hit the like and subscribe button so that I can enable you with a project or two. And to my returning friends, thank you so very much for coming back each and every time that I upload a video. I'm doing okay. I know it's been 2 weeks since my last video. I just was not feeling up to putting up a video last week. So that's where it stands. There's no real life update except for I did end up going back into the office for 2 weeks, but I will now be continuing to work from home due to a medical condition. I was approved to work from home for another year, permanently for another year. So that is really my only life update at this time. I'm doing okay. And thank you to those of you who reached out to check on me. I appreciate it very much. I do have lots of stitching. I have some new starts, some whips. I don't have any finishes this time, but lots and lots of whips because I have been stitching for, like I normally do. So we're going to just dive right into it. I did have a question on my last video. However, I'm going to hold that question until the next video because there's just going to be a lot of content for this video. So I'm going to hold it and it'll, you'll see why. On the next video, I'm actually thinking that maybe I'll just do a special video with some different topics. So we'll have to see. I feel all discombobulated, which is one of the reasons why I didn't do a video last week. However, I can't keep holding out till I feel like doing a video. I'm going to fake it till I make it kind of thing. So we're going to go ahead and get started. The first thing that I have to share are my new starts. And I have several. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 new starts since the last time you saw me. So on February the 10th was the start of the Year of the Dragon, and I had 2 projects that I started. And the first one is called Snack, and it is from an Etsy site, but I could not find the information for the Etsy site. So if I find it before I upload the video into YouTube, then the information will be in the description box below. This was gifted to me by Athena for my birthday, Stitching Goddess Designs, and I was able to put in the top part of the border and the start of the W. That is my hanging thread. I did this while I was at Keepsakes. It is on a 18 count Mystic fabrics that I got in a grab bag, and I am using DMC. Oh, I guess I need to show you the chart. So this is what Snack looks like, and this is actually a quote from Taryn to from Taryn to Andarna. And then this is where I got to. So I'm using 310, and this is a Mystic fabric 18 count that I am using to stitch it on. I have left a lot of my new starts in the Nerd Hoops this time because I would like to get some more work in on them before the month is over with. I was able to put in, and I didn't really count them, but I'm sure I have at least 100 stitches in. Usually my goal is 200 stitches for a new start, but I worked on this and then I had another new start on that same night. So this is Snack. And this was one of my Year of the Dragon starts. The next Year of the Dragon starts that I had was the one that I had been showing. It is by Firewing Designs, and it is Warrior. And I am stitching Warrior also on an 18 count bluish gray. And I am using the classic Colorworks thread called Anti-D, D-E-E. And so this is where I started at his foot and came up his leg. And this is the beginning of his mouth here. So then I'll just continue on around until I get his head in. So again, this is in the Q-snap still because I want to put in a little bit more work on him before I put it away. I put in 210 stitches. And you can see the variegation in the thread. It is a blue to purple, dark purple thread. And it looks really good on this fabric also. So I went with the 18 count instead of even weave or linen or anything like that, because I wanted it to be easy for me to count when I get up into the wing area. I did see that my friend Kevin of Akio Whips, he did start his in a totally different spot, which he started at the wing, and they look so good. So I'm glad that we both have different spots that we started in, so as we're working on them, we can compare. He's been asleep all this time, and then I start recording, and he, of course, has to drink water. Okay, so that was, both of those whips were for the start of the Year of the Dragon. The next new start I had was for my friend Athena's birthday, and she does a Love Baby, hashtag Love Baby Snake Sal on her birthday. And for that, I chose Imprints Love and Heart by Heart and Hand. And I am using a 40 count fabric. The called for is 36. The called for is 36. However, I had a scrap of 40 count fabric that I had pulled out, and that is what I'm using. It is just a tan. And so far, this is where I am on it. We got together and stitched this on Athena's birthday, which is Valentine's Day also. And my friend Suki's birthday is also on Valentine's Day, so I was stitching some love for you too, Suki. I put in 431 stitches on this project. There are only two flosses called for. One is Tennessee Clay and the other is Current, both by Classic Colorworks. And there is where I am on that now. I have to come down and finish this part, which I would like to put some more work in on this also this month. Everything I seem to touch, everything that I seem to have started this month, I want to put more work in on it. I just need to find the time to put the work in on it. But, you know, it'll come, because I'm trying not to have too many carryovers. I had slated myself to do 24 and 24 new starts in 2024. I'm going to bypass that number, I'm sure. By the time it's all said and done, I don't know how many I'm going to bypass that by, but I started 4 projects in 2 weeks, so I'm sure I'm going to bypass that number going, you know, as the year goes on. The next new start I had was also a part of my investments. I received in the mail the Bitty Bowl for March. And I started working on the pillow part. And here is where it is now. This is on a 16 count parchment Aida. I started in the middle, and I am using the called for DMC flosses. And you can see I marked the little top so I would know which way was up. So that is where I got to. So that is where I've gotten to so far. I will be working on this for my 25/7 in the mornings. So with 25/7, it is a group by Melanie Watkins, and you work on a project. You either put 25 stitches in, or you work on it for 25 minutes. And so I'll be working on this as my 25/7, because that's how I'm going to end up getting these completed for the year. That's what I ended up doing last year when I did the Life is Just a Bowl of cross stitch. So I'm going to continue that on this year with that also, so that I can keep them going and hopefully get them ahead so that I can decorate with them when the time, you know, as the month comes up. Okay, I put 98 stitches in Life is Just a Bowl, in the Bitty Bowl, March. So now we're going to move over into my whips. I'm going to pause this just for 1 second, because Albert is doing something. I need to check on him. Okay, I'm back. So he's all rested. He's back laying down, and so I shouldn't have any more disruptions from him for a while now. So I participate in Whipagories, which was started by Sammy J Stitches here on Flosstube and on Instagram, and she calls out categories. She changed it over to Whipagories. She calls out categories for the month. And so this month, the categories are full coverage, pattern size medium, pattern type paper, holiday, new design 23/24. So for holiday, I pulled out November Cottage by Cottage Needleworks. And here's a picture of what it looked like when I last worked on it. And here is where I have gotten to. I put in more of the leaves and some of the leaves over here also. I put in 72 stitches on this piece. This is on my year of whips. So, you know, anytime that I get a chance to put some stitches in on it, I will be doing so. So every little stitch is getting it closer and closer to a finish. So I think all the leaves except for one right here have, well, and I'm not even sure. Nope. So all the leaves from here down have been added. So, you know, all I need to do is put in the long stitches for the turkey's legs here. And then I can move over to this side. I need to add another branch here. And then there's a whole thing of acorns, a stack of acorns and a couple of other leaves. And then I'm going to go up and put in the word November and do the top border. I haven't decided on what I'm going to do, if I'm going to do the border on the very top and bottom, or if I'm just going to put November in and leave it with the word, with the month November. So that is where I am with that. This is being stitched on a 28 count Jobelin in the colorway beige, and I am using the called for DMC flosses. The next whip that I have to show is the in snowshoes, which is the acrostic for this month in the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge group. And my N stands for Nora Ccorbett. And I stitched on Bella Butterfly. And here's a picture of where she was when I last worked on her. Oh, for November Cottage, I don't know if I said this or not, I put in 72 stitches. And here is Bella Butterfly. So I worked on her headdress all the way down. I put in 120 stitches on her. And that is where she's at now. All of these open spots are for beading. There's going to be a lot of beading in the headdress. So that is where she's at now. I am stitching this on a 28 count color and cotton named Neptune, and I am using all of the called for flosses with the exception of the skin. I am using Almond M&M's skin skin flosses, and this one is 1965 Bloody Sunday and the Voting Rights Act is the skin complexion that I am using for her. forgot to put the pattern back in the chart back in the bag. I have all the beads, all the call for beads, all the call for everything for that chart. I just, you know, once I get to stitching on it and get it finished, then I'll be able to do the beading and everything. The next chart that I have worked on is also on my Year of Whips, and I used it for Whipagories. It is pattern type paper, and it is Mirabilia's The Christmas Elf Fairy. And here's a picture of where it was when I last worked on it. And here is where it is now. So this is also on my Year of Whips. I added 75 stitches to her. For right now, it seems as though what I'm doing is using my Whipagory to keep my hands on my Year of Whips. Year of Whips is also, it is a closed group now, and it is ran by Melanie Watkins also, and we, I think I chose like 14 whips, which means I need to get 7 of them completed by December 18th. And this is one of them. I am using the silk conversion that was done for me by Miss Susan at Keepsakes. And it is also a Representation Matters because I'm changing her skin tone. I'm stitching this on a 32 count Seraphim in Sand Dune. And again, I'm using all of the called for silks that this was converted to by Miss Susan. And I'm loving it. Oh, I guess I need to tell you where I worked on. I put in some more of this area in down here, I believe. And I might have added some of this area also. I'm not really sure. It's been a minute since I worked on this. It was in the first 2 weeks that I worked on it. Or the first week. I hope you all got yourselves a beverage or something, because I still have quite a few whips to go through. So the next whip that I am going to be showing you is actually for my Whip Go. And this month, for this Whip Go, the number 3 was called, the number 3, my Whip Go board has other floss tubers on it that are choosing my charts for this year. The number 3 was for Athena, who is Stitching Goddess Designs. And she chose Starlight on Water, which is a Carolyn Manning design. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And I have my 700 stitches in, and here is where I am now. I already had all of the border put in. And then the last time, you may have seen it, if I'm recalling this correctly, I had this whole block in. So now I have gone up and put in this block and come down and put in this block. And now I can go out. I'm actually, so this is where I'm at right now. This block is completed and this block is completed. So what I'm going to do is go down instead of going diagonal like this. I'm going to go down. So the next time I pick this up, I'll be working on this block here. I am loving the colors that we chose. We actually went... Okay, I'm like, get it together, Candy. We actually went with the color and cotton. It's this way. We actually went with the DMC, but we chose color and cotton threads to use for this. And I'm loving it. I put in... It says this last time, oh yes, because I went over the, so my WIPCO is 700 stitches per project. And I actually stitched over 800 stitches in this project. So this last time that I stitched on it, I put in 767 stitches. I am stitching this on a 32 count limited edition bi-color and cotton. And I keep holding it in the wrong orientation. So I need to put a T up there so I'll know which way this goes. But that is where it is now. So thank you so very much, Athena. I appreciate you choosing this chart. It was a thrill to work on it this month. I'm trying to find something to write on this thing so I don't mess it up. Because I don't want to forget and then fool around, and which, you know, it goes... I don't know that I could mess it up, but I don't want to take the chance on stitching it in the wrong orientation the next time I pick it up. So that is where we are with that. I really enjoy working on it. So that was my WIPCO number 3. And then for my WIPCO number 24 was chosen by my friend Janelle, who is Coffee, Wine, and Stitching Time. And she chose the next chart in the 3 Little Words by Lizzie Kate. So this was the next chart. I have finished the one before it. And was that a new? No. Here's a picture of where it was when I last worked on it and you last saw it. And here is where I was able to get to with my 700 stitches. So the last time you saw this, I had today 2. So I put in the S and the E, the little bird, the word joy, the stitches under it, the strawberry, simply. I put in, since the last time you saw this, I put in 589 stitches. This is on a 28 count Jobelin in the color of beige, and I am using the called for DMC colors floss. I would think that with like 2, maybe 3 more stitching sessions, I could have this completely finished, because I need to add, what did I do with that chart? There is a border that comes down the side here. There's a border that comes underneath here. And then I need to fill in the flowers. So there's a flower here and another flower here. I'm saying all that to say, with maybe another 2, 3 stitching sessions, I would be able to have this as a finish also. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Janelle, for choosing this for me. These 3 little words charts mean a lot, and I am working, I want to work towards getting them all completed so that I can have good positive words of affirmation around all the time around me. So that was my Whip Go number 24, and they are both completed for the month. So I am glad about that. So in Whipagories, one of the categories this month was full coverage. And I only have 1 full coverage project going right now. And that is Purple Rain. And here is what it will look like someday. It is by Heaven and Earth Design with the artwork by John Enright. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is the whole piece from end to end. So I am at both of the ends. This is the end of, and this is the beginning. This is the beginning, this is the end, and then I'm going down. What I worked on this time was, I am still, like, I have like 10,000 stitches still in this color. And so I am literally going down the page all the way across with this color. And I can't tell you what the color is because I just go by what the symbol is in Pattern Keeper. But that whole middle section is what I added this time. It is, I added 446 stitches to Purple Rain this time. I was watching videos of when he did the Super Bowl and preparing for the Super Bowl, and then once you get started with one video, then you get a whole bunch of other videos in your feed. And so I was really caught up into the prints this time and stitched a whole lot of stitches on him. Plus I also needed to stitch 700 stitches in the I can't even think, Candyland game. And so when I have big blocks of stitches like that, I try to pull him out so that I can work on him and, you know, push him forward even more. So he is being stitched on an 18 count overdyed Ada that was gifted to me by EJ, with all of the called for anchor flosses that were gifted to me by Miss Joy Lisa. And for Whippagories, he is my full coverage piece. So anytime that full coverage gets pulled, I'll be using Purple Rain, at least until I start my next full coverage piece. But that's not happening anytime real soon, so you'll see. Purple Rain a lot. Okay, so next for Whippagories and the letter O in snowshoes, I chose Silver Samplers, and I chose Civil Samplers by Rebel Stitcher Designs because all three of the persons represented are orators. O-R-A-T-O-R-S. Or orators. Okay. I knew I should have looked that up before I tried to pronounce it, but so here is Silver Samplers, and I am doing Caged Bird. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where I am now. I put in 219 stitches in this. The Whippagory category for this was project size medium, and that's what this project is. And then the O is for the orators. I did meet my goal on this. My goal was 100 stitches, and I actually put in 219 stitches, which is this branch here and the top of the bird cage here. I am stitching this on a 36 count freeze by Rogue Stitching, and I am using a color conversion that I came up with, which is why instead of being brown, this limb is green. I changed the colors. And this is a 36 count. So that's where we are with that. It snowed, and so like I know y'all like, what in the world just happened? So it snowed. We ended up with 5 inches of snow over the weekend, and it is melting off of my roof, and so it just was like, what is that noise? This is also, I was pulling it forward. This is also a needle minder that was designed by Rebel Stitcher Colleen. I'm sure she has those if you would like to pick one up. She has her own website. It is rebelstitcher.com. Okay, so the next whip that I have to show you is my temperature turtles. This might not be as bad as what I was initially thinking it would be. I seem to be moving along pretty good though. So, Temperature Turtles by Stitching Mommy. And I am working on the February turtle, which is right here. And there is no before picture of the February turtle because I started it anew. And that is what I have gotten in so far. I have put in 80 stitches to start the February turtle. I will be working on this again, you know, to get it caught up. I think I am through the 9th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think I'm through the 9th, and I have the first flipper, flipper in. I will have to watch her video. She, Stitching Mommy, put out a video on how to deal with the leap year, because this is a leap year, so there are actually 29 days in the month of February. So I'll have to watch that video and see how to put it in before I go before I stitch too much more of it in there. I don't want to have to back out or remove stitches in order to put the 29th day in there, but that is where I am now. This is being stitched on a 32 count Whimsical by Stitch Me, and I am using a sulky thread conversion that I used for Temperature Butterfly. Okay, so now, oh, here it is. Okay. So I have chosen to stop work on the February Biddy Bowl project. I will have to come back to it so that I can get it finished. But for now, I have moved on to March because I want to at least start getting ahead. So that I can get them completed and be able to display them on my shelf up here, because it'll be time to, I'm still going with the snow theme because it's still potential to snow. Again, we got 5 inches of snow on Friday. So, but I want to be able to like move ahead and get ahead of them. So this is what the February Betty Bow looked like. I still have all of the accoutrement and everything together for it. I had completed the pillow. I don't know if you've seen that or not. Probably not, but I am going to show it to you. So here is where the pillow ended up. And remember, I had to change fabric, so this would show I used a very light lavender instead of using Blanc, which is what was called for. So that's the February pillow portion of it. And then I started the, what is it called? The bag. Yeah. This is what will eventually be turned into a bag. And it is a heart with a lock and key. And then it has the alphabet A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, down at the bottom. So I will work on this. Right now I'm thinking what I'm going to do is one day or for 25 minutes in the morning, work on the February, 25 minutes work on the March, because I want to get them completed. That's the goal. And I don't want to wait until next year to try to complete them, like what I'm doing with some of the bitty bows from, or the, not the bitty bows, the life is just across, life is just across, life is just, anyway, last year's, I got them, some of them too late in order to get them stitched up and displayed. So now I'm working on getting those. So March, for instance, I finished part of the March, but I didn't finish the little girl. So now I'm working on the little girl, the Irish dancer and the pot of gold and all of that. I'm working on getting that completed so that I can have it to display for the month of March. Okay, now I've said it all. I'm like, okay, how am I saying this? What am I saying? So I put in, for the bitty bow, I put in 269 stitches, and that is on the new start one. I need to go back through and check and see when I finished the pillow, because I don't know if I wrote that down in my book when I actually finished it. So I need to double check that. But that's where I am on the February one. I am leaving it out. Again, my plan right now is to work on both the February and the March. So that I can get February, even if I don't do the actual FFO part of it, I will have it completely done, the stitching completely done, which is what I want to make sure I get done before I put it away. I don't know why that upset me or discombobulated me, but it really did. Okay, so the next whip that I worked on was E in the Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge group, and that it stands for equality. And I pulled out Harriet Tubman. And here's a picture of where it was when I last worked on it. And here is where it is now. And you cannot see that. Oh, there you go. So I added her scarf here. And I started doing some more work on the coverage. It's full coverage inside the picture frame. I added 212 stitches. My goal on this was 100 stitches. So I am moving this forward. I still have a few spots in her face that I need to go back in, and but I've decided that when I get ready to pull those threads, that's when I'll go in and put those stitches in. So I just brought some more of this down. And the next time I pick this up, I'll be working back in the top of her dress some more. This is being stitched on It's a Fortnite Fabrics 16 count hue, and I am using the called for DMC with the exception of the floss that's used for this fill-in part here. It is gentle, or no, it is the Gentle Arch Simply Shaker Threads Toasted Barley. And that's what I'm using in there. She's looking good still. I'm still enjoying it for, you know, for as much as I have worked on her. So I need to get moving towards the rest of the dress so that I can fill her in and get started on the name and all of the other things. I would like to, I'm thinking that depending upon how far I get on her this year with the days, you know, putting her into a better rotation, that maybe I can put her on my year of whips for next year. That is Harriet Tubman by the Primitive Hare. And the my final whip is Dr. Maya Angelou. And here is what that looks like. This is what the model looks like. This is not what my stitching will look like. And here's a picture of where it was when I last showed it. And here is where I have gotten to. So I added, this is being used as the H in the snowshoes. She wrote a poem called Human Family. And that is why I used the H. I added this, the leaves, 225. I know I added this yellow up here and part of this and these down here. So I still have to put in all of the words. But that is where the center is. So there are actually, which I didn't find this out until, I don't know, yesterday, day before. There are two different charts for Dr. Maya Angelou floating around. One of the charts has the words all backstitched in, and the other chart has the words stitched with X's. Because I am so unsure of myself with backstitching, I am going to be getting the chart that has the X's, and I'm going to hope and pray, because I didn't really know that there were two different charts until a couple of days ago, that it will all work out, that the spacing and everything will work out between the two charts. One chart is larger than the other. However, I'm willing to work with the one and use the chart that has the X's for the words rather than doing the back stitching. I do not want to mess this project up. It means a lot to me, and I am not comfortable with backstitching words and letters enough right now to try it. maybe someday I'll get over my whole backstitch issue. I hope so, because I have charts that call for backstitching that I really want to do. And maybe it's just a matter of mind over matter and just start doing it. But I don't want to just practice and keep ripping them out over and over and over again, especially since this is being stitched on a linen fabric. It is a 40 count linen. Or I'm sorry, it's a 36 count pearl by Mystic Fabrics, and I am using some Color and Cotton, Hyacinth, Harvest Moon, and so I just don't want to I don't want to mess this up. So hopefully I will be able to get that chart soon and continue working on it. I would like to work on it on April the 4th, which was Dr. Maya Angelou's birthday. That is actually when I started this project in 2023. So hopefully I can get that chart and work on it again on her birthday going forward. So those were all of my whips for the past 2 weeks. Under an hour still, so that's pretty good. I'm going to go over my plans for this next week. And then I have a tiny bit of investments. And then you can go to your next floss tube. I hope you all have been stitching while we go along. I actually thought it was going to be much longer than what it has been. So I'm thankful. So this upcoming week, I plan on working on, I need to put in 100 stitches into Rosina Desiree 1820. I also need to put in 100 stitches in Women of Honor. If you recall, I am doing a Representation Matters February, all with the bulk of the pieces that I am touching to be Representation Matters and or Black History, because February is Black History Month, and I believe that I should stitch on Representation Matters this month. I will also be restarting Capricorn, which was my birthday start in 2022. As it turns out, I only put in a portion, probably only like 20-30 stitches, maybe not even that many. And so I'm going to restart that project for Representation Matters also month. And I have a couple of more days that I would like to put in for Warrior and Snack. And then there are a couple of projects that I did not get to touch for Representation Matters. So maybe I can put 50 or so stitches in each one of those. They're only like 2 or 3. So that is what my plans are going to be for the month going forward. I need to incorporate a couple of days for the ones that did not make it on to the Whippagories or the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge. I will hopefully be back again before the February 29th. So I'll let you know. I know I've already talked about what I was doing as my leap day start. So hopefully you will see that. I had some, I placed an order. Athena did, Stitching Goddess Designs did, look at this cute, look at this cute little sticker that she sent me. Even though I don't have cats and I'm not big on cats, just the thought that she sent me the little black girl was really special to me. But I picked up her Valentine's Day shirts, and this one just, it says love. I love her shirts. I have a ton of them too. And then this one has all of the words on them that we use in the little candy hearts. So X is SAF, ORT, FFO, WHIP, SAL. So I thank you so very much, Athena, for the beautiful shirts. I love them. And if I were you and you like Athena's shirts, I would start paying attention to her Instagram and or Facebook group in the next week and a half. You might be surprised at what you see. Not this week. You got to give her a week and a half. How about that? But there'll be some special things coming out. I know firsthand. So I'll be getting my order form and my funds together for it. I also received a very cute Valentine's Day card from Miss Connie, and it had 2 little buttons in it, and she is half of the Count Twice, Stitch Once face Flosstube with her daughter Melina. So thank you, Miss Connie. I went to Keepsakes and picked up 2 Concord grapes. And I'm thinking that this is going to become, one of these I'm going to use this as one of the floss colors for the 1 Dozen Quaker Sow. Sorry if you heard that loud car out there. I also picked up this Puntini January, because I love all things January. I mean, it is my birth month. And so this is what the pillow will look like. So I picked that up when I was at Keepsakes. I also picked up another one of these carols. Well, this one says Carols and Pieces Christmas. It's a double flip it by Lizzie Kate. So I need to go through them and see which ones I still need. They show it on the back like this. However, I'm not going to stitch it like that. I think I'm going to do them each as individual pillows. And then I can just put them around. Even though I do like the look of this, I think it'll just take me too long. Maybe. I could do it on a banding and see. But anyway, I got, this one is Carols and Peace. And that's what the piece looks like. I'm really trying hard not to show anything. And then that's what the carol looks like. And it does have the charms in it. So then from Fat Quarter Shop, I received my floss fix. And here are the colors that were in it: crushed pineapple, Cupid, dandelion stems, deep blue sea, deep fennel, and desert mesquite. Desert mesquite, yeah. And then I placed an order with Fat Quarter Shop because they had Robin Pickens, who is a fabric designer for Moda Fabrics. She is also designing cross-stitch patterns. And I had already seen the cross-stitch patterns. And so when they had her on their live stream for Wednesday, Cross-Stitch Wednesday, I picked up 2 of her charts. And the first one is Winter Twosome Triangle Ornaments. And you can do these either on, the models were stitched on 14 count Aida. She also has, I'm going to show you. She also shows where you can do it on perforated paper. So you can do it on Aida and then finish it like this. She also has the dimensions for doing it on 25 count Lugana and 28 count linen and or even weave. I need to double check and see so I can let you know. They are in full color. And they are you can mix and match them. So just because it shows it this way, so say you wanted the, you could actually stitch the holly with the red bird. You know what I mean? You don't have to stitch it exactly like this. Each pattern is shown individual and independent of one another. So I was really happy to pick this up. I had been watching Robin Pickens. She has a YouTube channel also, but it's more for quilting. And they showed in November these, she showed this in November, and I just didn't order it, and how to finish them. And so when I remembered again, I picked it up, and I am glad that I did. I also picked up from Robin Pickens in the Fat Quarter Shop. It's called Petite Stripes, or no, Striped Sweet Petites. And they are where you can do letters with different colors. And so I thought this would be a cute friend's gift. Or you could spell out words or whatever. But I thought it was a cute gift. And each one, so she provides the different colorways that you would want, that you could want to stitch them in. So there are a few symbols in here. I know there's an ampersand. I'm not for sure what other symbols there might be, but it does say. And she also gives you what the dimensions of the little tiny hoops, which is 2 inches. So if you wanted to make a pendant necklace or something like that. Oh, there's snowflakes, there's a house, there's a smiley face, an exclamation point, and a heart. Those are the extra motifs. So, very cute. Very, 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 very cute. So, this will be something really good to, you know, use for friends' gifts or Christmas ornaments. And so since I was also placing an order for that, I placed an order for Stitch Card Set S by Lori Holt. And it has all things snow themed on it. This is a quilt block, snow, mittens, and the gloves, and the sleigh. I do know they have been teasing that they are going to be doing something special with her stitch cards. So it'll be interesting to see what they do come up with. And my final investment is my Color and Cotton Fabric Club of the Month. And this month it is called Hay Bale Medium. I get a 32 count quarter yard. And it is not very mottled at all. It is a rich color. The light is blowing it out. It's much richer than that. But it is beautiful. It's kind of more of a golden color than what is actually showing there. So that is all of my investments for this time. I want to thank you all so very much for keeping me in your thoughts and prayers as I still transition to being a non-smoker. I have passed the 30-day mark now, and I am still sticking with it. Everything is going well. I just was down in the dumps a little bit, and so I just didn't want to record. But I thank you all so very much for your patience and all your wonderful comments, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.